the camera or the phone was listening to them in their bedroom.
Don't get public shamed. There it is.
Claims he found a human finger inside his ice cream.
Your involvement in the teleportation aspect of Project Pegasus. What about your involvement in the time travel experiments?
Welcome back everyone to more creepy TikToks, and let's dive in.
You know, I shouldn't have to do this. It's pretty simple to do. You just type in streetlights 5G and the first link is a .gov. Now, we all know that you love these people and trust these people with your heart and souls. So, street lamps and bus shelters to be outfitted with 5G rollout. Right. Problem with this is they did this first to the fire stations. Yeah, you know, all the fire people. And this is what happens. Environmental Health Trust. Fire station closes due to cell tower radiation issues. They closed the whole place down because they kept complaining about it and they didn't move it. Right, they have moved them in the past. So I'm a bit weird with this one. Do you know where they moved them all? They put them all outside your primary schools. Yeah, that's where they put them, guys. So the firemen are complaining about nausea, sleep and all sorts of problems. So they take them down and they put them outside your kids' schools.
If you get the chance, look up UN whistleblower Claire Edwards. She talks a lot about 5G and the damage it's doing to us. But if I was to describe number 5 and streetlights, it's like a weaponized infrared network of digital webs.
Don't get public shamed. There it is. Look at this guy. Oof, got him. Oh, got her, dude. Oh, no. Oh. So, just so you guys know, do not jaywalk in China. You will be shamed.
It's only a matter of time before this whole world succumbs to becoming obedient slaves just like China. It looks as though it used to be some sort of attraction or prop, so it didn't seem sus. What did seem sus, however, was the guy hiding behind the pillar. When you get up in the middle of the night to attend a meeting with your fridge about the chocolate bar, and then you realise the chocolate bar is gone. Hello, it's me. I was wondering if you would like that chocolate bar to eat.
The system has been hijacked. It's as if humans are no longer in control. You know, these are actual different people. Heather Graham, Jamie Mayos, Michael J. Fox, Scott Wolf, also the other Bush brother, Lucy Hale, Selena Gomez. Who are these people? Jennifer Carpenter, Hope Solo. You might think they're the same people. Look at this one. Ian Somerhalder and Rob Lowe. Rosalind Sanchez, Nicole Schertzinger. And look at these two. Are they clones? Is one real and not the other? How about Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Javier Bardem? Or Judy Greer and Anne Hesh? Ladies and gentlemen. What about Renee Zellweger and Joey Lauren Adams? There's more. Robbie Amell and Colin Egglesfield. And there's more. What about Evan Rachel Wood and Alexandra Breckenridge? Are they clones? What are the chances all these people would look alike? Kate Blanchett, Anna Torv? Does it feel like the show The Fringe out there? Oh, Homer Bailey and Christopher Bale? Are these clones? What about Helena Christensen and Cameron Diaz? Are they clones? Jessica Biel, like the devil, Christy Turlington. Dan Radcliffe, Elijah Wood. Look at these two. It's amazing. Who are these people on television? Look at this one, Joseph Levitt and Heath Ledger. Is there more? Oh yeah, there's plenty more. Chris Humphreys, Taylor Lautner. Oh, this is the worst. Bob Saget and Stephen Colbert. Bradley Cooper, Paul McDonald. You notice that one? What about Megan Fox and Tamara Esselstone? What about Linda and Mila? What about these two? What about Paul Rudd and Ben Affleck? You might think these are the same people. No, let's not miss this one. Courtney Cox and Nelly Furtado. Look, Keisha and John Travolta. Is that not a keeper? You'll never be the same.
They say that we have several lookalikes all around the world, so is it coincidence or clones?
Oh my goodness. I called the emergency. They said to call leasing office. Leasing office said they're unavailable. Oh my God.
I mean, what could you even do in that situation, you know? I mean, you can grab the broom and tap the ceiling and tell them to keep the noise down, but that's not really going to make a difference. Like,
Doesn't make any sense. Too bad.
but honestly, hopefully he was able to relocate and find somewhere that's a little bit more safer than that place.
I could make a sperm out of your skin cells and an egg and fertilize that.
So you can clone me.
I could clone you. I won't do that because it's illegal, but biologically we could do that. What's important is I can make organs, mini organs from you and test drugs. And what we're doing in the lab is we have. Yeah. Wow. So when you come to my lab and you have to promise you're going to come, I'll show you. We grow these mini brains in the lab and we've got them from people that are predisposed to Alzheimer's or not. And we have a way to age those brains so that they're now 80 years old, even though they're only a few months old. And they lose their ability to fire electrically. They become demented in the dish, little mini brains. On Instagram, I've shown some photos of these. They're pretty cute. And so we give them Alzheimer's and dementia in the dish. And then what we do is we have a system to turn on those 3 embryonic genes, OS and K. And those brains go back in age. But here's the cool thing. Alzheimer's goes away. They get the electrical activity comes back. Now we do this in a mouse. We make the mouse older, just let them age out, or we accelerate it. And we've been now reversing the age of those brains in the mice. And you can guess what happens. They get their memory ability to learn back.
Unbelievable.
What I want to know is how did they manage to age the brain? And when he was talking about reversing and restoring the brain, that's exactly how I think Neuralink will work and why it will become so popular and in such demand in the future.
Have you ever wondered what an Egyptian pyramid is doing on a US dollar bill? Or why 56 countries signed a treaty not to venture into Antarctica? And why do planes never fly over it? How did NASA lose the footage of the moon landing, one of humanity's most pivotal moments? If Neil Armstrong was the first on the moon, who was holding the camera? Why haven't we returned to the moon? If monkeys evolved into humans, why are there still monkeys? And what about the 95% of our DNA dismissed as garbage? Who decided that? Ever ponder how cathedrals and parliament buildings were built so symmetrically by people living in wooden huts and traveling by horse-drawn carriages? How is this same architecture found worldwide? Why do ancient Egyptian artworks seem to depict spaceships? Or why are giants featured in ancient writings across various cultures, including the Bible? Why are mushrooms a common motif in ancient Christian art? And why does Santa dress like the Amanita muscaria mushroom? Why do ancient artworks include pine trees? And is it a coincidence that the pineal gland resembles a pine? Why are dragons depicted in cultures around the world, separated by thousands of years, yet also mentioned in the Bible? Ever notice the blatantly demonic symbolism in the music and entertainment industry? And have you thought about why most video games revolve around killing?
A lot of good questions, and I'm looking forward to hearing your theories in the comment section.
This is the stomach-turning moment a traumatized doctor claims he found a human finger inside his ice cream. Orlum Brandon Serrao tucked into the frozen treat to cool off, but was horrified when he felt a solid piece of something in his mouth, thinking it was a nut, but spat out what appeared to be a severed human thumb. After posting the video online, Serrao hit back at the doubters.
I am a doctor, so I know how body parts look.
He sealed the finger in an ice pack and submitted it to police while filing a complaint.
He sealed that finger in an ice pack because he had a mission to complete, and that mission was to finish off the rest of his ice cream. And I don't blame him. I mean, I do it myself as well, finger and all. Like the cherry on top. Yum yum.
And this is why you don't fall asleep with your mouth open. This story was shared all across the world. This lady fell asleep by the river with her mouth open and a snake crawled into her stomach. Oh! In reality, most experts do agree it's not a snake, it's a parasite that she got from eating undercooked meat. Still scary though.
Fair play to the dogs for getting that thing out, but can you imagine waking up one morning and you're feeling your stomach full and something moving and crawling about? So yeah, make sure that if you're sleeping, sleep with your mouth closed. Tape it if you have to.
So I keep seeing that Randonut thing all over TikTok and I really want to try it out. So I just downloaded the app and I found a location that's like 1.5 miles by my house.
This is why you don't go randonauting when you don't know what you're doing. TikTok user Taylor Vasquez wanted to try the app out for herself. And if you don't know, this app gives you random coordinates based on your own manifestations. And while the science behind it is unproven, that didn't stop Taylor from manifesting something near her home where she saw strange pictures that she couldn't explain. But here's the first clip, and let me know what you think.
Alright, so I think I gotta go this way down a creek. Alright, this is what I found so far. Pretty creepy. I'll go see what that is. Okay, so I just opened up one of the photos, and it's whatever the f that is. Then we have these random three. This one's a It's Your Birthday with the snowman with, I don't know. And these two I just put together. It's like, play with me. Alright, I think it was just my imagination. I think I'm just hearing shit, but I'm trying to read these. I swear I'm friendly. Play with me. I swear I'm friendly. Play with me.
Now, after her first video went viral, a viewer pointed out something that she didn't see while she was there. And while Taylor doesn't have an active TikTok account anymore, she did end up going back to the same spot and finding a notebook. But I'll leave that for part 2 if you want it. But here's what she caught on camera.
No one was with me, and tell me if you guys think that looks like a ghost child, because I don't know. But I didn't know if she photoshopped it or not. So I went to my videos and I screenshotted the exact part that she shows right there. And I see the face too.
This creepy video is a part 2 when Taylor, using Randonautica, returns to the place where she heard those voices, armed with only a flashlight. And it did not go well, because not only did she find a creepy notebook, but once again, she caught something else on camera.
So there's the cave, and then there's more of those fucking drawings. Okay, these drawings are creepy as fuck. I feel like I should just grab them all really quick, if they have messages on them, because then, like, those look like symbols. I'll just go like so that maybe this can help me figure out what they mean. Maybe there's meaning to them. I'm too scared to stay that long. There's a fucking notebook. I'm taking that too. Right, so I grabbed everything. Keep these. I don't really see anything else. So like, I don't really see anything else. So like.
Now, after this happened, her followers begged her to film what was inside the notebook. So after saging the notebook and herself, she films what's inside, which only seems to get more strange with each page she turns. Here's that clip.
Is that really some fucking hair? What the fuck? Okay.
And after finding what seems to be a lock of human hair, many followers were quick to speculate that it could be related to the voice that she heard in the woods. Now, unfortunately, with her TikTok account gone, this is where the updates end.
If something like this came across my path and I found strands of hair sellotaped to a page inside of a book, I don't know about you, but I would take it to the police station for DNA sampling because, I mean, if someone's child is missing or whatever, you know, at least you can get a case going.
Go back, son. What? Go back a little bit, then zoom in so they can see it. All on the Ring camera detection. Now watch this, the next one. What the hell? Pause it on that. Yo.
He lit up the whole street. Look how big this thing is.
Yo.
What's your thoughts on this one, guys? Have we witnessed an alien abduction or just good editing?
Technology is the mark of the beast. It's very simple. It says in the Bible, an intelligent man will know the number of man is 666. For whatever reason, humanity wants to believe that the only language that ever existed was the English language. There were a lot of languages that existed long before English. And numbers were invented late in the game of life and literature. It was all symbols, especially coming from Kemet, Egypt. The number 6, the symbol for it, in Latin numerology is W. What did we used to have to type before they started making it a ghost so you didn't have to acknowledge you were writing 666, 666, 666, 666 all day, all night?
What is WWW? What is it?
No, that's the acronym we gave it. That's the acronym we gave it. It never had a name. Wow. It was just WWW. Somebody invented that World Wide Web shit. Anybody could put a name on something. Why don't we want to accept what's right in our faces? Want to know why? Because motherfuckers get up and ask this a question before they ask God a question.
You don't have to be a Christian to know that the world is being run by Satanists, but as Christians, we should be asking questions to the right GO as opposed to the wrong GO.
So, we just seen this. Thought we'd share it with you guys. I've never seen anything like this in my life.
It's a real vivid circle rainbow around the sun, but then there's a second rainbow.
Yeah.
The video's probably not going to do it quite justice, but it's vivid, beautiful colors.
We're in Oregon, and it's Friday, June 13th, at like 1:30 in the afternoon. But
that's a trip.
Yeah, phenomenal. Thought we'd share. Love you guys.
You know that scene in The Simpsons where Ipa hovers over Springfield and drops a big dome? That's what that looks like to me.
Atrapados para siempre.
I've said this before, but is it possible that the Egyptians had, giants or Nephilims in those days, and that's how the pyramids were built?
Your involvement in the teleportation aspect of Project Pegasus. What about your involvement in the time travel experiments?
By the fall of 1970, they were already moving us backward in time 12 hours. In other words, we would teleport to New Mexico, spend an entire day there involved in project activities, and then when we arrived via teleportation back at Curtiss-Wright, it was maybe 11 o'clock in the morning rather than 10 or 11 o'clock at night. And we asked them, you know, you're sending us back in time, aren't you? And they said, yes.
So tell me about this photograph where you're actually seen at the Gettysburg Address.
Well, they sent me to Gettysburg via a new technology in 1972 called plasma confinement.
So we see you in this picture in Gettysburg, and you're standing how?
I just decided that I would walk about 100 paces on a diagonal from the stage, and then stand with my left foot forward and my right foot to the right, so that people looking over at me wouldn't see how large these shoes were. And then I would look in the opposite direction from where I knew Lincoln would soon be arriving on the right side of the dais to give the Gettysburg Address. And it was in that position, that odd position, wearing those grossly oversized men's shoes, that I was photographed by a contemporary photographer, in a photograph that's now known as the Josephine Cobb image of Lincoln at Gettysburg. What my dad later explained is that when he saw me standing next to him in Gettysburg in 1863, he said, I knew then you were going to be in the project.
The person in that photo could be anyone. It might not even be him. You know, I mean, it could be you. You could just be sitting there, you know, putting your hand to your face, saying to yourself, why am I even here listening to this Egypt? And you know what? I probably wouldn't even blame you, to tell you the truth.
Watch this video before it's removed from the internet.
Roughly around here, we start to work. And we work. We keep working all the way until we're 65 years old. So as you can see, that is most of your life. So it is very important to spend this time doing something that you love. Being a kid is nice. Retiring is nice. But what about the years in between? These should not be just a write-off and just waiting for Friday. Just get through it. You can't wait till retirement, because once those years are gone, they're gone. What I'm saying is, if you're working at a job that you hate, just for a paycheck, then you need to make a change in your life.
They said, I was talking to my wife about needing a new mattress in our bedroom. The next day, they're getting advertising for mattresses, which means the camera or the phone was listening to them in their bedroom, with all the follow-on conclusions to be drawn from that.
Yeah, given what happens in healthy bedrooms, so what happens to those recordings?
Well, we've been doing a study following our device, a Google Mobile Services phone, any Android running Google Mobile Services, which is all of them, or an iPhone, and at about 3 a.m., we're seeing a spike of data leaving the phone, about 50 megabytes. That is basically that phone dialing home to the mothership, exporting all of your goings-on.
All your pillow talk is going to...
Pillow talk, whatever. Right. So Zuckerberg paid $20 billion for WhatsApp. Why? Because every message, call, video, picture, voice note, everything that goes through there, they say, well, it's end-to-end encrypted. Yeah, it's end-to-end until it passes through their server, where it's sliced and diced and analyzed and used to sell advertising to that customer. If you're not paying for something, you're not the customer, you are the product. So if you want to get, well, I think people right now are used to Mark Zuckerberg listening from their nightstand every night, because that's effectively what your phone.
So why isn't he like the creepiest person in world history if he's listening to what's going on in your bedroom?
Because they're able, as big tech, to shape that message. That's the frightening thing about the power of big tech and their ability to influence what you watch, what you think about candidates. If you search something, how they score those rankings. It is shocking. We have an antitrust problem here in America, vastly worse than in the late 1800s, early 1900s, with oil and railways and steel and all the rest.
This is more important.
Yeah, this is literally how we communicate and interact with other human beings in our lives, how we gather and share information about the realities of life.
A few months back, I rang a mate of mine through WhatsApp, and we were talking away, and then all of a sudden there was like this distortion, and then it just cut off. And my mate, he rang me back a few minutes later, and he was like, "Here, were you messing about with me?" Because he could hear this like heavy breathing on the phone, and then it just cut off. And I was like, "No, obviously it wasn't me." But it's obvious that, you know, there was someone listening on the call. But again, you know, it's nothing new because we all know that they're listening anyways.
So people will see how we couldn't see it.
It's behind this thing too.
Yeah, this thing was pushed up against the wall.
You want me to open it?
Yeah, open it. Ha, sucker. Just kidding, I'm not doing that.
I literally would have a panic attack in that room.
It looks like one of those emergency rooms, but I want to know what that stain is on the floor.
See this man right here? He's the reason why parents are stopping their children from using smartphones. Please listen carefully.
Don't give a 1-year-old an iPad or a cell phone. Get rid of the screens in your house when your kids are small. Have a screen in a locked room for yourself if you need one. But don't be phoning and texting and emailing around your kids, because the message they get is the device is more important than they are. They've been documentably shown to interfere with the healthy development of brain circuits. This has been shown on brain scans. So if I was raising kids today, I wouldn't let them near a screen for years.
This man is Gabor Mate, and he is one of the most important voices in the world today for childhood development. Excessive use of smartphones can interfere with a child's natural development processes. Children need real-world interactions and activities to develop social, cognitive and emotional skills. Smartphones can disrupt healthy family interactions and bonding, and children who are preoccupied with their phones may miss out on meaningful conversations and connections with the family. Protecting kids' developmental health and fostering deep family connections and promoting a balanced, healthy lifestyle free from the negative impacts of excessive screen time. Make the rest of your life the best of your life.
It's sad because we are all guilty of this in some way, and we certainly don't want our wee ones thinking that, you know, they're less important. But this also applies to society in general. I mean, the art of conversation and communication has slowly been withering away for years now. I mean, we were out having a date night there about a month ago, and sitting adjacent to us was a young couple, and both of them were just sitting on their phones. They weren't, you know, talking or anything, just eating and on their phones. So it's sad.
Guys, if your assessments here are correct, these are very covert weapons, aren't they?
That's correct. There's no entry or exit wound. How they're designed is to make the target feel like they're crazy, like they're imagining things.
And you guys also said that these attacks are happening right here in this city. Is that correct?
I mean, there have been some that have gone public with respect to Washington, D.C.
I think it was Mr. Grozev said you spoke to a Russian agent who said that they believe that Americans are using these same weapons on them. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Might that have something to do with part of the CIA's motive to cover up the existence of this tech and these weapons?
That is a very logical possibility.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
Gentleman yields. Chair now recognizes the gentleman from New York, Mr. Goldman, for his round of questioning.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you to our witnesses for being here. Mr. Grozev, I want to follow up a little bit on the interactions you've had with Russian intelligence about these AHIs. And Mr. Zaid, I want to ask, and this is a hypothetical, but I'm trying to understand why our government would try to block information sharing or conceal information that they have. And one thing that comes to mind is whether there's an operational risk to revealing any of the details of their investigation. Is that something that you have come across in any of your work?
There's a lot of reasons why the information might not be publicly released. And I do think that's something we could address more in a classified environment to explain that. But there are understandable reasons why the U.S. government has not revealed much of what it knows.
There's some long-term things that needs to be done in terms of new acts. But in the short term, we need to do things like implement the original Havana Act. DOD still hasn't done it. They still have not implemented the Havana Act. And we need a VA diagnostic code. Thanks to the VFW brothers and sisters that are here today and for your meeting earlier, we don't have a VA diagnostic code for the 500-some DOD survivors. How are they going to get long-term care and disability without that?
Well, I hope this issue you see in a room that is often contentious, explosive, volcanic, that you've got members on both sides who first honor and salute the victims and want to do everything we can to make sure that they're made whole, and if they can return. And of course, as the victims have wanted to do, make sure we do everything possible to prevent anyone else from suffering from this. And I yield back. Thank you, Chairman.
Though this meeting is in relation to the US government staff and their family members being affected by the Havana syndrome outbreak, it still applies to us, and not just in the US but all over the world. I mean, I kind of think that what we were discussing earlier on in terms of streetlights and that sort of thing, I do think that we are all going to be exposed to this syndrome at some stage, and I think we're all going to be affected.
So, word on the street is they got a new payment method where you don't need debit or a credit card. You can pay with the palm of your hand. Now what I want y'all to do is pay attention to how this man pays for this water with his palm on his hand. He has some kind of supermarket or superstore or something. And as y'all can see, he's ringing all of his stuff up.
Whoa, wait a minute.
What is that new device? Never seen that in the store. If y'all have, let me know what that is. And now I'm guessing he getting ready to pay for it. I want y'all to pay attention to how he paid for it. And then he clicked Amazon One. No, it's not. Barcode, hold on. Accepted. Are they paying with the barcode that's in their hand? Wow, that's crazy. It's kind of remind me of something, I think I'd have read that in a book somewhere. But y'all let me know your thoughts.
Those days are just around the corner, hey. I mean, it won't be long before you give someone a high five and you accidentally send them like 500 quid.
And hundreds of them here. Here we go. Please do not touch kids without permission of their parents. What the fuck is this place?
Thanks to every single one of you guys for making it this far. I hope you enjoyed the compilation, and if you did, smash that like button and subscribe button and try and hit that 25,000 subscriber goal. But that's it for today, guys. Look after yourselves, stay safe and stay healthy, and I'll see you very, very soon.
There's two blokes gonna go in, that's what they're gonna go in. Yes, quit.